We wanted to learn more about where the tea for our raspberry tea comes from, the people picking the tea leaves, and the fair trade partnerships that we have with the community. So earlier this year, I traveled to Tamil Nadu in India to visit the Korakunda Tea Garden. The tea garden is 6,400 feet above sea level, so it was a long, hilly drive. The tea leaves are either picked by hand or with special shears. The tea workers pick the top 2 leaves and the bud off the plants. Here's the 2 leaves, 1, 2, and the bud. Her basket is much more full than mine. Once the tea leaves have been picked, they're weighed and then shipped off to the processing center. Two-thirds of the land is still rainforest, which helps explain why there's so much biodiversity. The landscapes in Korakunda are amazing, but the most cherished asset in the community is the school that's supported by fair trade funds. Thank you. In fact, the school is so impressive that people from surrounding communities try to get their children into the school, even if the parents don't work in the tea garden. We were warmly welcomed and even treated to a local version of the Hokey Pokey. Just for fun, I brought along Stomp Rockets, a toy my sons and I have always enjoyed, and we even managed to get one stuck on the roof. So 15 years ago, just after I had met Tim, if you told me I'd be running an organization that was helping to eliminate billions of calories from the American diet, and that was also involved in promoting organic agriculture, and also involved in spreading fair trade labor standards, I would have said, well, okay, you know, I'm living near Washington, D.C. It's got to be a wonderful government organization or nonprofit that I'm involved with. I would never have guessed that it was a beverage company, let alone one that is now connected to the Coca-Cola company. But at Honest Tea, what we did was we saw an industry selling drinks that were extremely sweet and with ingredients that were extremely inexpensive, and where distribution was very consolidated. We said, well, what if we do something completely different? Instead of 100 calories per serving, what if we make drinks with 17 calories per serving? Instead of looking for the cheapest ingredients, what if we invest in organic and fair trade ingredients? And what we realized was we were creating something through a lot of hard work, and the book is full of some of those stories and some tragedies along the way. We realized we created something not only that was different, but was actually valuable to the large companies because it was so different. We were created in response to a problem, but we kind of linked in, we clicked in, because we weren't going to be stealing market share from consumers or customers that the large companies were selling to. And so when Coca-Cola invested in 2008, Honest Tea was in 15,000 stores. Today we're in over 100,000 stores. When Coca-Cola invested, Honest Tea was buying about 800,000 pounds of organic ingredients. This year we'll buy over 5 million pounds of organic ingredients. And when we can start to accelerate that kind of demand, we help transform what goes on in the developing world. I want to share with you 2 Chinese proverbs. These are, we call them bottle cap quotes. The first is, it's a truism. If we don't change the direction we are headed, we will end up where we are going. Well, where are we going? Not in a pretty place. The UN recently ranked the life expectancy of the 200 countries in the world. And think about it. So what is the average life expectancy? What should it be for the United States? Well, let's just think about the facts. The United States is the wealthiest nation in the history of the world. We have more advanced knowledge of science and medicine than any civilization has ever had. And we spend more per capita than any civilization has ever had. We have a greater capacity to feed not just ourselves, but other populations beyond ours. So what number do you think the United States would be? Well, we're not number 1. We're not number 2. We're number 40. So what does that say about our society? What does that say about our priorities, about our diets, about our lifestyles, about the way we live and interact with nature, about the way we live and interact with each other? It feels to me like we've created a few too many solutions when there may be some solutions already there, some problems that actually are solutions in themselves. We wrote the book Mission in a Bottle, my co-founder Barry and I, who was my professor from business school, to help both inspire and help entrepreneurs commiserate with the process. We brewed samples of tea in my house, 5 thermoses. We got an empty Snapple bottle, and we pasted a label on it. And we brought it to the local Whole Foods office, and we said, we're selling this in your store. We'd like to sell this in your store because it's different. It's not like other beverages out there. And the buyer was willing to give it a try. In fact, he placed an order to our both great delight and horror. He placed an order for 15,000 bottles. And we had to figure out what to do. We used that green light from the buyer to raise some capital. We raised about $500,000, all from angel investors. And over the next 10 years, we raised another about $10 million from angel investors. And delivered, by the way, a 26-fold return to the founding investors with our exit. So it's a story with a lot of bumps along the way. One of the things I learned is that some of the challenges are just inherent in the business. Within the first week of making our delivery to Whole Foods, I was at a family picnic and was eating a piece of pizza and felt something crunchy in my mouth. I said, there's not supposed to be anything crunchy in a pizza. Turned out it was my tooth. My tooth had cracked. And I went to the dentist, and he said, well, it looks like you've been grinding your teeth. Are you under any stress? I said, I guess you could say that. He says, well, okay, I've got 2 options for you. The first is you can learn deep breathing techniques and yoga, and you could find a way to relax. Or I can fit you for a night guard, and you'll put that on, and even though you might grind your teeth, they won't sort of bump up against each other. I said, tell me about the night guard. I'm still wearing the night guard, but we're building something important. And more than just what we're doing with tea, I hope we're creating a model for how corporate America can change. When an entrepreneur can take a vision, gain buy-in from consumers that then leads to buy-in from a larger corporation and really becomes a main part of their portfolio. And so I want to close my remarks. I'll share with you another Chinese proverb. This is one that I know you all feel very much. It says, those who say it cannot be done should not interrupt the people doing it. And this is a room full of people doing it. The challenge, of course, is if markets are efficient, then there's no need for social investing. But markets aren't efficient. And there are problems out there. And those problems can be solutions when you can connect with them in the right way. Building a business like this was I was told it was impossible, not just because I didn't have any experience in the beverage industry, but just because of the competition, the challenges. But it's a community like this that can take a vision, come together as a group, and make solutions out of problems. And that's what we need you to do. So good luck, and let's all do it. Thank you very much.
The Great Recession, financial bailouts, Wall Street opulence, Bernie Madoff, all wrought havoc on America's integrity. So Honest Tea conducted a social experiment to find the most honest city in America and hopefully redeem the land of Abraham Lincoln. We set up unmanned pop-up Honest Tea dispensers in the 6 biggest cities in America, where the public could take a tea and pay $1 for it. Or not. Hidden cameras were set up nearby, and then we watched people wrestle with their conscience. intrigued.
You would be very ballsy to walk up and just take one.
I don't feel like this is the most honest corner in the world. And I was surprised to see like a tub of money just sitting there.
On the whole, America proved itself to be 87% honest. But apparently, it wasn't just us watching.
Honest Tea is conducting a social experiment in downtown Chicago and around the country.
Honesty on Wall Street? How about honest tea on Wall Street?
It's a bold marketing move for Honest Tea, challenging Snapple, the market leader, right here on their own home turf.
We had 280 million total impressions, 160 press stories, $2.8 million in earned media, and Honest Tea experienced double-digit growth in each market. Oh, and Wall Street was more honest than Los Angeles.
He's looking around. He's like,
Doesn't have the dough. He's going to walk
People
away.
in LA are so hip to hidden cameras, too.
That's true.
That's probably what he's really looking for.
We are certainly leery.
He doesn't know where to put them.
Oh, there it is!
What if he grabs two?
He grabs two.
No, don't do it.